Alright, so for style, this is Kim. Um, I don't know what my YouTube is going to be. I literally only have like one video on my supposed channel, but it's just me playing like The Last of Us game for like a few minutes. But right now, I wanna talk about, as you see on the TV there, the Netflix show called Cursed. And I'm by no means, you know, a big movie or TV show reviewer. I don't know any names of the writers, or I don't know the book this is based on. I'm just typical average guy watching Netflix shows. So if I miss something that I'm supposed to get, forgive me. So this will be kind of a rant as well. I don't want to make this long. So to start with, this show is just it's hard. Right? It's when I mean hard, it's like difficult to enjoy it, and not to say it's outright stupid as a show, because there are worse things, I believe. So yeah, to get right into it, the characters, first off, I think the acting is pretty well. It's pretty good. Well, and just a side note, I'm from the Caribbean, so if I don't speak fluid English, like, proper grammar and all that, just know I'm from the Caribbean, and we use a lot of dialect, shorten words and stuff in our English. But yeah, the actors are pretty good for the most part. I don't really have any problems with the acting, but that coincides with the writing. The writing of a lot of these characters is pretty stupid, and it's difficult to kind of believe the story of what's going on when the characters make such stupid decisions. For instance, and this video might have a few spoilers, fair warning. For instance, your girl here, I think her name is Catherine Langford. She's Hannah from 13 Reasons Why. She gets the sword from her mother. Her mother told her, carry the sword to Morgan. She eventually meets Morgan. Morgan's trying to talk to her, figures out, stuff through a series of like magical flashbacks that Morgan has showed her. And she completely judges Morgan off of stuff he did in the past and says, oh, you're a bad person, you can't be trusted, and I'm not giving you the sword. Which is so stupid, because it's the past. Everyone has one, he's a different person now. And he warns her that the sword confuses people and turns them into something they don't want to be. And of course we have to figure out that the hard way. Because why is she stupid? And don't get me wrong, I love Catherine Langford. I'm a huge fan ever since 13 Reasons Why, and she was in Knives Out, and I think she was in Love, Simon. I can't remember. But she was pretty good in those, right? She is an actor is not the problem, it's the writing.
Literally.
Talk about.
Literally, the episode. What?
Yes.
Literally, in the second episode, you could see how much of a stupid show it is. Her father is a big ass. Later on in the show, we get to find out why he was such an ass. But that still didn't give him any reason to get on the way he did. She was scratched by the bear because the bear was possessed. And all of a sudden, she's the marked one.
Yeah, like that is complete bully. The entire show as a whole just feels completely generic. Right? Something happened to her when she was young, and then she get marked for it, and everybody in the village is complete idiots because oh, she got scratched by a possessed animal, she's tainted. For what reason? Do you hate the girl because she was almost eaten and survived? You outcast her because of that? Like, and this is my biggest thing with the show. Like, it doesn't explain more than half of why stuff is in the show. And maybe they do that in the book, but as I said, I'm just your average, viewer. I've not read the book, so I don't know. Most likely it explains why, but for this show, it completely sucks. Right? Like, it's so generic. Like, everybody hate girl because girl get marked. The name Branchia Witch, which doesn't seem right because our clan, the Fae, is a bunch of mystical creatures that live in, countryside England or whatever. And they have mystical powers that permit them to use the elements. Mostly the earth, which I don't know if that's supposed to be witch-like. Right? I mean, she makes things grow off of trees and stuff. It's stupid. Right? They don't explain anything. Anything to add?
In episode 2, they had this potential love, and she said it was throw it right in your face. He happened to be singing, they meet, then all of a sudden they end up together. Then they had the best thing about this in that part 2 was when they show us back some of what happened in her past, which is when the boy carried her in the forest, making her think that he wanted to have her or kiss her or just be with her or something like that. And then he tricked her, called her a witch, and then this dirty girl come out from somewhere or the other, you don't even know where she come out from. And Hannah Powers flied up, and she got her just dessert.
Like spoilers. Yeah, that is also another problem. I don't know who the show is for. Like, it's there's a lot of blood and gore in it that you don't expect, and then most times it feels very Disney-esque or Nickelodeon, type of young audience feeling to it. And like they're forcing what's her name in this? Nimue. They're forcing her, your main character here, to be in love with Arthur. And yes, King Arthur, because we're talking, sword in the stone, legend of King Arthur mythology. He is not who you think he is in this. He's completely different.
All he is a thief.
He's a thief, and they changed his nationality, basically. He's
He,
now they cast him as a black guy.
he basically took her sword for his own glory and ended up backfiring on him.
Yeah. So the show is supposed to be like a fantasy, you know, adventure type, right? But they instantly force her and Arthur into this love interest, and you see it coming a mile away, like a mile away. Soon as he spots her, the camera does this thing, zooms in, and then the music swells, and you'd bath. You'd literally bath. It's that predictable.
And moving on to episode 3.
We're not doing
Right.
episodes. That's a basic rundown.
Okay, fine.
Don't see which episode. So as you see, this is work in progress. So if we're talking in between any of this, you know, and it's my other half is to the left of me is who is talking. If you wanted to know. So carry on.
They had this one episode with this evil little girl. She just looked evil. She eyeing them beanie like some devil or something, and she just making it her thing to do everybody wrong, and she bad because she wants to become
A red paladin.
yes.
Yeah, so it's like one of the nuns in the Red Paladins headquarters. This little girl is pretty troubled. I don't know. But honestly, with everything going on around Nimue and the sword and whatever, they might as well have made her the main character, the main bad guy. It probably would have been better. Because she's more interesting than anything. So Excalibur is the sword, just call it the sword of power in the show. Which is fine, but highly gives me references from like He-Man. I don't know why they just didn't say Excalibur. Because they wanted to be different. But and then we have Marlin, who has no magic, which I mean a lot of people might say it's stupid, but I cannot give them praise for taking that risk. Marlin with no powers, and the reasoning behind it is pretty good. He as a character is like one of the best in the shows, honestly. He's like one of the best characters. You feel for him. I mean, his introduction wasn't the best because he highly came off a lot like Johnny Depp's Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. He was moving like a flamboyant and drunk, but that was literally just the one episode. Like anything after that, I think he came into his own and he was highly likable. You feel for him and stuff like that. He's the best character in the show. And then Morgana was pretty good too, who is Arthur's sister. But the show suffer highly from poor writing because everyone makes stupid decisions. I would go into some major spoilers, but I only say like a few, nothing too important. But I guess I could give you this one because Morgana meets the woman, the Black Widow, who is friends with Merlin, right? If you've watched the show, and she kills the Black Widow. Morgana kills the Black Widow, and then becomes the Black Widow. Now, before you say anything, it is a spoiler, but honestly, you're not missing it because they didn't even show what happened. They didn't show Morgana killing her. The interaction between them, they just did. Soon as she and the Black Widow interacted, they did this stupid transition thing that they do throughout the entire show. With like, it looks like very, artistic and water paint ish kind of transition, which I've heard it's supposed to like replicate pictures from the book. But honestly, as for the show, it kind of takes you out of it, and then they use it most times to kind of explain what is happening, which is like very lazy in my opinion, right? Like, don't do that. Just show what is actually happening instead of giving us these watered down painting transitions that feel highly cheap. Speaking of cheap, the show looks alright for the most part. I would say it's maybe 50-50, if that much. But the CGI is pretty bad. And then the set pieces, for the most part, look as if it's not like a show, Hollywood. It doesn't look real, is what I'm saying. You could tell it's a set, like they're on a stage or something, right? Like a song stage. And it just doesn't look right. Only a few parts. They pour in a lot of CGI, and even then it doesn't look that good. Like, the best CGI you're probably gonna get is like in the first maybe 2-3 episodes where they show what happened to Nimue when she was younger and she got attacked by the baby. That looked pretty good. And when she had to run with the sword, and the sword activated with her in the rain, and she was fighting off the wolves. Granted, the wolves themselves looked pretty horrible, but yeah. And then they saved a lot for the end of the last episode, which is supposed to be like the grand finale to pour in like money. But what happened was pretty cool, but how it looked was pretty cheap. Right? So anything to add?
One of the episodes, they basically had to run, and they went into this place where we don't talk about it earlier in the video, but they went into the cave where nobody's supposed to really go into. Then we go in there, and the Nimue, she basically got mad at something. She threw the sword directly down in a cavern, and then the black girl had to go down in there for it. Yeah. Thus, she meeting the person that she loved in the show.
Yeah, just kind of fortifies what I've been saying. Is like bad writing, stupid decision makings. She threw the sword into the cavern for what reason? Then Morgana had to go down there, and then she met the ghost of her her gay lover, right? Because Morgana is gay, and like the first thing she said is, "I'm not of this world. I'm dead." Like, right? Like, if the show was any kind of realistic, the character would know, okay, like, if you're telling me you're dead, I don't know what I'm seeing or hearing is even real. Why should I even trust you? Which, of course, she does. She takes the spider into her mouth, and thus she's cursed. Like, it's these kind of stupid things I don't get. And you find this all over the show. there's so many stuff I could speak. Like at one point you think they make good decisions, then the next turn they like do something completely stupid for just boycott what they just do, basically.
And then there was the Green Knight. He made stupid decisions as a leader. As a leader, he really made stupid decisions.
Yeah, it's any character made stupid decisions really. Like from forcing Nimue to be with Arthur that fast. Like I don't get where does the love come from exactly? It doesn't make sense. Right? And characters like Pim, who's Nimue's best friend, basically got saved by the boy she doesn't like and she makes fun of, calling him the stinky fish boy or something of that nature. He saves her, but then what does she do? She leaves because there's this cute boy and some part of some crew on a ship. She doesn't know what she gets herself into, and then now she was about to get killed and now has to lie to keep her life, saying that she can heal people. It's whatever. And Squirrel, the little kid who Nimue knows from her village. Like in the second episode, I think, when they had to run, I think it's the first one, I don't remember. When she told him to stay in the between the rocks to hide, she was calling for him, he didn't come. I get that he saw the guy up there, the Red Paladin, but because of that, he got caught by what was his name? The Weeping Monk. Was another thing I've talked about. Right, so he got catch. Later on, Squirrels went after the Green Knight who got caught by the said Weeping Monk. Followed him to see where the hideout is and what they are doing with him.